here. We're live.
Hello and welcome to Exodus, trans angels on the run in a fascist dystopia. Like dice through the dice tower, these are the gays of our lives. A group of therapists, educators, and spiritual leaders playing queer tabletop RPGs in order to embrace our identities, build community, and share the magic of playing queer games with queer people. Gays of Our Lives stream every other Sunday starting at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will play queer games with queer characters and then talk about our experience. Want to know how to use queer games to build space for your queer clients? Check us out as we discuss how each game can benefit the queer communities that we work with. Each season of Gays of Our Lives, we choose a theme within queerness. The theme for this season is traveling and moving through the world queer.
Guess that's to me for announcements.
Yeah.
Just a couple of announcements today. If you would like more queer content, come watch our Friday night cast on Friday, February 4th. We are streaming the finale of our Kids on Brooms Yale Capades season, our first year in college. What will the group decide to do about the captain and the professors? Will Roberts be left to be bait? Has Eliza become someone new? And how are Lexa and Riley going to deal with the truth? Join us to find out. And then we also have, on February 24th, we have our second episode of Tabletop Transformations. Join Menachem and Tanya for the first game-playing episode of Tabletop Transformations. Menachem, what's that all about?
I've learned a lot about myself playing games, and I know you all have too. And in fact, a lot of us are involved in helping other people do their own exploration through games. Most of us are in this group are therapists or social workers or adjacent to those folks. Well, what about spiritual questions? How do we examine questions of who we are? Why are we here? What makes us come alive through using role-playing games? So that's what the show is about. And each monthly episode will be playing a different game, and hopefully with the creators of those games as much as we can, and exploring the ways we can use those games for spiritual exploration, growth, healing, and talking about it.
Okay.
Looking forward to it. And with that, let's get a little bit closer to what we're doing today. We're going to be playing a game called Exodus. This is our second episode, and it is a game designed by Erica Shepard. And I believe we're going to drop the itch.io link in the chat. And it is explicitly an homage to an interpretation of Transangelic Exodus by Ezra Furman. And you can buy the album, which highly recommend, and not just that album, but other albums by the same artist are also fantastic. You can also find Ezra at her Twitter at Ezra Furman, EZRAFURMAN. So Exodus is a role-playing story game, as we do on this channel, about being on the run in a society that has turned against you. It's a story of angels on the road, making community as they go, and trying to find somewhere better. It's a game rooted in a time and an autobiography and a plan and a dream and a fear all rolled into one. Exodus is a GM full or GM less game, depending on how you look at it, based on Avery. Sorry, with my sunglasses. I have to get out of character. Excuse me, is it Avery Alder? Thank you. I don't want to say it incorrectly. I appreciate my playmates helping me out. And Benjamin Rosenbaum's Belonging Outside Belonging system. The game is for 2 to 4 players and usually takes 3 to 4 hours to play. And don't worry, we're pros at extending one shots to 4 and even more sessions. Although we really are, I think, aiming for this one to be 4. And hopefully we can, figure out whether we're going to tie that in a nice little bow at the end or leave it open for you all to pontificate on. We'll see. We'll have to see. So with that, we should start our check-ins.
Yes, indeedly doodly. So one thing we have, in any game you play, you want to have safety mechanics. And in this game in particular, Erica writes on page 5, this game is a heavy one, right? There's heavy themes we might be addressing, reasons why we're on the run. It's a fascist dystopia, and things can come up. So we talked last time about a couple of lines and veils. Lines that things we don't want to see in the game, and veils are things that are okay to exist, but we don't want to play them out. And the lines and veils that came up last time were nothing up the nose for a line, as well as no graphic descriptions of genitalia. And veils we actually left open.
I think we actually also said no graphic violence descriptions.
And maybe I missed it in my notes.
Even if we
talked about it later.
Didn't, you can always add it.
Yep.
Yes. That's what this is, a check-in to see if there's anything that we want to add.
There can be violence, but we don't necessarily need to describe it in all of its intimate, gory detail.
The guy hit the guy.
I mean, you can say more than that. Yeah. You're storytellers.
I know. But we don't have to get graphic.
Yeah. I mean, if you do go to the point where you're doing like Black Knight level stuff, then that goes beyond gory and back to funny again. So,
so
at least for me,
you can lose a limb, just don't describe it graphically. Is that what we're hearing?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Hopefully, no one loses some limbs in this game.
Maybe you could get robotic limbs if you do. Maybe that's cool.
At least one of us wants to gain some limbs, right? Get their wings.
That's right. Yes.
Okay, and now to begin to enter the magic circle of play, that space where the day-to-day rules of living do not apply, where we step into our personas, we're going to ask 1 or 2 questions of each of the players to reflect on in a minute or 2. So start with a pretty basic question. What are your hopes, concerns, or questions about today's game? And let me call on Lara.
Gonna start with me. Hoping that the stream goes smoothly again. I am enjoying doing back-ending stuff. It's fun. It is only a lot to manage in the beginning and the end. So I think I'm at the point where it's going to be good. And one concern I have is, like I said, I've been putting a lot into my play on Fridays, and I'm still getting a feel for this character in this game. So, and we're like going to be halfway through it after today. So, I'm excited to explore. And I'm going to pass it to Nina.
Damn.
There's only 4 of us, so it's pretty quick.
I know. Just really quickly. So, I hope that we get to sort of have more interactions between all the characters, because I think last time, it was, we had some subtle interactions between all the characters, but have some more intensity and get more of a group dynamic kind of going. It's kind of like summer camp, where you start, like, if you have a friend you came with or someone you knew, like, you start there, and then you either end up in the thing where you like never meet anybody new because you just hang out with that one friend all summer, or you actually decide to branch out and hang out with some new people. And I hope we go that direction. And I guess concerns, I don't know. I'm kind of sleepy today, so I hope that Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little sleepy today.
You shared your thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good.
Call on
Oh,
one of our other two.
Mary.
Yes. Yeah. One of the two. Still me.
Mhm.
So my hope for today is we just jump into some excitement. I really want to, similar to what's already been said, I really want to see the characters interact and get to know the dynamics, especially because this is the first time, well, this is the first game that this group of people is playing together. So I'm excited for that.
Awesome. That leaves me.
Yeah.
Count. I can do math and I can count. I felt like it took. I was trying earlier to get into my head into the game, and it was harder to get my head into the space of this game earlier. So I'm hoping I get into it as we jump in. And I had a lot of fun kind of playing Lover last time, so I hope I continue having that fun. So a lot of what we talk about with role-playing games is how oftentimes characters reflect us or are extremely different than us, right? And both whatever ratio that exists of that, it has value if we want to use games in applied ways. So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not at all and 10 being totally, how much is your character you?
We're going in the same order, so it's my turn,
go.
Nina.
Mm.
Like I said, I'm still getting a feel for wheels, so I'm thinking somewhere in the like 6 to 8 range. I think I feel like I usually bring a lot of myself to my characters, but not knowing too much about wheels yet. I can be kind of avoidant. Wheels is avoidant, so I don't know where I am with wheels yet, but I think I'm somewhere in the 6 to 8 range. Nina, you can go ahead and go.
I think that I am like, I don't know. Yeah, probably pretty close. Similar range. Like maybe I'll say 7. And a lot of the sort of like, let's go for it, and the like consoling or support kind of stuff feels like me. But I have not had quite the guts yet to get a motorcycle and drive it off the back of a truck without a care. So maybe even more so. So like mine, like it's probably pretty much me minus the motorcycle. But honestly, it's like my former drag persona, which I guess it was like great hair and everything else I don't care. Like, and I can just get through the day without worrying about it. So I guess it's like me minus all of my anxiety.
Good thing to experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What
All
about
right.
you?
Yeah. So Alex is, I'd probably say about a 7.5. So there are a lot of parts of me in Alex, but it's more so like the emo 15-year-old. Honestly, it was like before I had boyfriends or any of those experiences, that's where my head is with Alex. So I've definitely, changed and had growth since then in my real life. But I think part of me is trying to see like where can I go if I did start at like go somewhere different from that age. So Alex has quite a bit of me in them.
I think I'm at a 3, maybe a little less. Whenever I tried to flirt, I couldn't. And if I thought I wasn't flirting, often people thought I was. So, whereas lover is just all over the connecting and flirting, but not really connected. Right. And I feel like I have more of a connection with people in general than lover does. And so, yeah, 3-ish.
Okay.
So, moving on to the name ritual, we will each say our player names, and we can welcome each other as players. Then we'll say our character name and welcome the player character into the game. And thus we will step in fully into the magic circle and inhabit the game space. So back to the top.
Well, I'm Lara.
Hey,
Hi, Lara.
Lara.
And I'm playing Wheels.
Hey, Wheels.
Hey, Wheels.
Hey, Wheels.
I'm Nina.
Hello,
Hey,
Nina.
Nina.
And I am playing Moisha or Moy.
Hey, Moy.
And you have
Hey,
permission
Moy.
Hey, Moisha. All right. I am Mary or Maggie.
Hi, Mary
Hey,
or
Maggie.
Maggie.
Hey, I'm Alex.
Hey,
Hey,
Alex.
Alex.
And I am Menachem,
Hi,
I'm
Menachem.
Menachem.
and I am playing Lover.
Hey, lover.
Hey, lover.
And thus we begin. Last time, just for a reminder, we ran from the city. We got some gas and some food and some love in, and we took off back on the road with Wheels and Alex in the pickup truck and Moish and Lover on the motorcycle. We're going to pick up down the road with all of us back in the truck together.
Yep. So, I'll go ahead and I'm gonna imagine that it's like, as we've been going for a while, and I'm gonna kind of like just be having fun revving up the motorcycle, and I'm gonna kind of be like popping up by the window and like doing this and then falling back and then doing it again. Who's driving the truck and who's passenger? And Lover, are you still on the motorcycle with me?
Well, I had assumed we had caught up with the group and rejoined down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And so I probably went back into the truck.
The truck.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So where's everybody else on the truck?
I think I was in the driver's seat the last time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Wheels
You can change
took
it,
over driving only because y'all probably realized that I've never driven a vehicle long enough to even know how to get gas. So I'm in a passenger seat.
Okay. So I think that Moore was enjoying like kind of just going for the ride on their own, and but I'm getting a little like we've been driving for a while, but I don't want us to stop, so I'm gonna look over at Alex and say, like, hey, you wanna go for a little joyride?
Oh, uh, sure, why not?
All right. Well, open up the door.
Okay, so we need to pull over, right?
No, no need. No need.
I
And
do
then
dream of things. I don't usually dream of dying, but I can try.
I got you. And hey, Wheels, you know how to keep it steady, right? We've done this before.
Sure, steady.
Mm.
Why are you throwing shade at a time like this? What kind
You
of
just
bee
know
you
I
got in
like
your bonnet?
you just know I like to drive fast.
um,
You are Wheels.
I am Wheels.
it's true.
Well, we can race once we're safely both on the bike. How about that?
Now you want to race?
I like
Just
this
saying.
plan. I like this plan. I like the way you think, Alex.
Oh, what did I get myself into? All right, so
Yeah.
I can't think about this for too long. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Don't think. There's no
All
point in
right.
thinking. So
So I just like swing the door open. I don't really know, like, does it close itself? I have no idea. I'm just gonna jump over to the bike.
and so how do you anticipate yourself landing or
So
making contact with the bike or me?
Yeah, I think I was planning on you helping me. So instead of like hopping behind you, I you had your arm out
Mm-hmm.
and I hopped between you and the bars into your lap.
This is gonna be interesting.
I mean, would Moish let that happen?
Like that's what I'm trying to do anyways. Trying to like
Yeah, if I had my hand out, did you like grab my hand and try to like jump between me and the steering column basically?
yes.
Um so okay, here's a good question. Are you taller or shorter than me?
Oh. Huh. Um I'm pretty small. So how tall are you? Do you know how tall you are?
Um I hadn't defined it.
Yeah, me neither.
Has anyone ever seen anyone ride from the back of the motorcycle?
I've ridden on the back of a motorcycle, and I don't know if you can really steer unless you have really long arms.
Yeah.
So
Moish would know this.
yes.
Mhm.
Yes. I'm trying to think about how I would deal with the situation. Because I don't think I would expect anyone to try and do that.
Mhm.
Well, you did say you have a lot to teach me. That's one of our bonds. So
If only you would
just
listen.
going with that.
If only you would listen.
Look, I heard you want to ride. Yes,
Would
yes, I
ride.
do.
But I also think that Musha is also the kind of person to like always be prepared. Like I've been in enough pickles that I'm a sour dill, and so I'm I it's gonna reveal like a little mod on my bike. So as you're like leaping through the air, I like click something on the like near the handles, and it actually like the handles go out and then they go back so that way I can be at the back of the bike. um and I think that I might be like just a tiny bit taller than you. Um, what kind of hair do you have again?
I
Trying to remember.
have
Oh, you had
pretty
the big.
messy hair.
That's
As
gonna end
you
up
know,
blowing in your face.
it's like blowing
Sure.
in my face, and I'm.
Sorry, I haven't showered in a while.
So remember, one of our dangers is breakdowns, or not dangers. One of our isn't it we pick breakdowns as a thing that's going to happen to us?
I believe.
Oh, the situation.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So that'll happen in the the bike will kind of wibble wobble a little bit. And
Who's got the road?
I do.
Okay.
are you gonna do anything as the road?
Throwing somewhat of a wrench in all of this, I think. Yeah, the bike wibble wobbles, and you hit like a pothole or something in the road, and I'm not. The bike's gonna veer off. How you gonna handle that?
Um. Oh, what kind of surroundings do we have? Like, what kind of
Where are we at this point?
what kind of landmarks are around us?
We're on a backcountry road. Remember?
Okay,
Kind of.
but like,
heading east.
are we still like I think we were talking about forests because we were up in the Northern California area.
Yeah.
So now, but we're moving along. So backcountry roads.
I think we're either in like Idaho or I don't know what's above Colorado. I can never.
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Oh no, not
Wyoming.
I guess we're like Idaho or Colorado or like Utah or something, like somewhere
That
in
area. Well, then there's gonna be on the side of the road. We're gonna have like some wide open spaces. I've never been in that area, so I don't actually know. But it can be whatever we want it to be now.
Yeah.
Because it's way
in the future.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say there's like brush, rocks, gravel, but it's wide open. You're not gonna like run into a tree or something.
Poor baby.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to be gentle ish.
So interesting. I just want to put this out. I have been in a motorcycle accident, like a bike accident, but I'm not feeling triggered right now. So, like in real life.
Good.
Well, are you
I'm
hanging
glad
onto the
I
truck
actually
or the-
realized that I just put this in the story, and my best friend passed in a motorcycle accident.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I'm doing all right, so
Okay.
nobody's gonna die.
Good. So I want to hang on to whatever I can.
Truck or motorcycle?
Yeah.
Or Moy.
What kind of bike is like? Is it like a chopper style bike or more of a?
It's more
dirt
like
bike
it's
type?
meant to be more like a Rebel or like your standard like Harley
Okay.
or a Triumph bike.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah. But I've made some modifications to it for our, post-apocalyptic future.
Plus we're in the future.
So okay, so are you like grabbing onto the bike? You grabbing onto the truck or me or?
So I like have disconnected from the truck
Mm-hmm.
and am on the bike and I'm trying to like grab on the bike, but since you have the handlebars and I'm like kind of in the middle, I'm trying to hold on to something there, but I may accidentally grab your arms as well.
That's not gonna impede my steering at all.
No.
So, okay. I am very surprised by Alex's actions, and but I have something for every situation. So I flick another switch on my handlebars, and like a little life raft kind of like pops out that kind of surrounds the boat, or no, the bike.
Boat. I love it.
Boat. It's like a bike boat, and like
in the future we've invented airbags for motorcycles. Is that what's going on?
But also sort of like these little sort of like wheel paddle things come out of the tires in the bike, and so that like obviously like pushes down a little bit, so we catch a little bit of air. And then those snap when we hit the ground again, but the raft itself pretty safely catches us as like the bike slides to one side.
Is your motorcycle Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Or am I aging myself here?
You might be aging yourself.
Hey,
but
hey.
I hope
it's shitty
bang
bang.
Yeah. But yeah, so you know, we slide the raft, you know, as soon as, you know, as we hit it, you know, sections of it kind of like pop and deflate, but it protects us, and most importantly, it protects my beautiful bike. And then, you know, once we come to a full stop, I just kind of push away some of your hair that's in my face, and I say, well, that was certainly a creative way to get on the bike.
I just knew to get on the bike.
I was patting on the back seat.
Oh.
Before I handed you my hand.
Honestly, I thought you were just like, come here. That's what I saw. And so I came over. Sorry, I wasn't thinking.
I mean, I don't mind having you in my arms, but, you know, maybe not trying to track the bike down the highway.
Maybe someday you could teach me.
What's or I don't know.
I was gonna say Wheels is the truck like screeches to a stomp, and then Wheels spins around to like come back to where you guys are on like the side of the road. That was pretty cool. Are you all okay?
I was putting lipstick on when that happened.
So there's lipstick everywhere now.
You wanna explain, Alex?
I may have just wanted to jump in Moisha's lap. Like, it was fun, but I'm okay. Moisha, are you okay?
I'm all right. You know, I always love when a good they them throws themselves in my arms. So.
Well, I'm a mess.
Sorry, lover.
Lover, when are you not a mess?
We love you for
love
it,
you,
lover.
lover.
So, I think I'm gonna kind of help lift the bike so that and Alex, why don't you go dust yourself off?
It might take a while to repack that raft thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit shorter than Moisha, so I'm like trying to slide off the bike and probably fall onto the ground. Then I stand back up and I'm like, it's okay, it's okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna, like, while I'm just laying there on the ground, I'm just kind of gonna inspect what I can see, and like get myself out from under the bike, and then gently lay it down and brush myself off. But the leg that was under the bike, I'm gonna, as I brush that leg off, I'm like, oh, that's gonna leave a bruise. And so but still, like, I heft the bike up, and I just kind of I flicked the switch that like made everything inflate again, and it just kind of like loses the raft parts, and I just kind of like jumble that up and off to the side, and I'm just like kind of looking the bike over, and
while you took the inflatable type stuff back, I realized I was stepping on some. Having it pulled back made me fall again, and I stand back up. It's okay, really, it's okay. I know how to stand and ride bikes and drive and all of that. I'm fine.
I'm going to put out a spread of like chips and cheese spread and other junk food that we got at the gas station on the back of the truck.
What are you doing, Wheels?
Wheels is going to put on the jams for this little roadside picnic.
I imagine it's going to take a little while to do all the stuff you're doing to the bike.
Mm-hmm.
It's 30 minutes or whatever.
So I'm gonna look at Alex and start to be like, do you have any never mind, you just take a break.
You want me to try to do something?
As go let us know what the spread is like, and I'm gonna gesture over towards where Lover put the spread out.
Oh, cool. I like try to brush some dirt out of my hair. Then I'm like, and I go over to the food. Hey, Lover.
Yeah.
Hey, noob. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Guess it's time for a lunch break.
Do you need a mirror?
No.
Okay.
If I am a mess, like Wheels said, I will just look like it right now.
You're a wonderful mess, so that's okay.
Oh, thank you. There's vehicles coming down the road. From the same direction we were in.
Oh.
Looks like we have company.
You can see down the road, it's a panel truck and an accompanying Jeep and motorcycle.
And so would that be some sort of authorities?
No, there's no sirens or anything.
Okay.
Are locals?
Well, it's people. Yeah.
Hey, Lover, any of those friends of yours, or?
Never seen those vehicles before. At least I don't think so.
All right. Well, keep an eye on them. And how far are they?
Like half a mile down the road. They're going to be here in seconds, right?
Yeah.
At this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna sort of prop my bike on to put the kickstand out, and so that way I probably was doing that while I was inspecting it and making sure everything's working all right.
Let's say the motorcycle pulls ahead of the rest of the group. They're more than a mile and a half down the road, because you can see far when there's kind of straight highways.
Mm-hmm.
And the motorcycle comes ahead and pulls up alongside the truck. You guys need any help? But you guys okay here?
Um,
That's Wheels, I guess, is the one driving, right?
yeah.
I'm driving, but
You're in the driver's
I'm in
seat.
the driver's seat. Yeah, we're fine. They just had some fun with the bike, and my friend here has gotta fix it up before we get back on the road.
Got everything you need?
Moy, you got everything you need?
So I'm gonna kind of look over their situation. What else can I tell about these
It's
possible locals?
it's a gruff looking person with facial hair. You know, thick jacket, like someone who has ridden a bike, you know, and wants to have some protective gear, but also looking good. And you can't see their back right now, so you don't know if there's any patches,
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. They're wearing jeans, pair of boots. Bike is in, you know, it's not beat up, it's not brand new.
And what about their friends in the panel truck? Are they still further back?
They are approaching shortly. There's a pretty beat up old Mustang and a panel truck that looks like it might have been a mail truck or might have been a rider truck. Can't tell for sure.
Okay. Are there any sort of like signs or insignias or identifying markers on either of the car or the truck that that Moisha or Lover might recognize?
Would they have markers and signs indicate what they do?
Kind of like really small or something that would be like hidden in a bigger design.
Yeah.
That
You can't see anything at this point because, you know,
okay.
And they're slowing down a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't look like they're going to stop.
Okay. So, I'll look at my stuff and say, no, I think we're good for now. Thanks for offering the help. Where are you all heading to?
Back home down the road.
What's home for you?
Where we live. But if you guys are okay, I better catch up with my with the team. You notice now they're packing, but not showing it. You know, you just see a glimpse of a gun on the belt.
Yeah, not that they like showed it to try and intimidate or something.
You just kind of as they turn their shoulder to look at you, the coat moves a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it was totally, as far as you can tell, it was not intentional at all.
Mm-hmm.
Stay safe out here. There are some hostiles.
It's a rough day every day.
And
always got to be on the lookout.
Pulls out.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of let myself relax a little bit, but also kind of well, so Lover and Alex are in the back, right?
By the back of the truck, yeah.
So I'm gonna be like, can you guys set up the board real quick, so that I can wheel this thing into the back? And
no more rides?
No, now you got to deal with my driving.
You'll be lucky.
Don't worry.
You'll be lucky if Moish asks you again anytime soon.
So,
but no malice intended.
No, I was like, maybe we'll stick to you starting out on the bike while it's stopped. I think I've learned my lesson. and
All right, we'll finish eating. We'll load the bike.
and then
We'll take off. Are you,
Yeah.
you're in the back checking it over and making sure you didn't break something that you didn't notice.
Yeah, it can be. And who's is Alex going back into the front cab? Lover, are you going up there, or
I can drive.
how do you feel about that, Wheels?
You want to drive, lover?
I mean, you've been driving for hours.
All right, you can drive. And Wheels is gonna move over to the passenger seat and start messing around with the music.
I hop in the back then.
So I'm gonna kind of peek through the window and be like, so Lover, what was your take on that team?
The who?
And then the Who starts playing on the radio.
the
Nice.
Mongolian throat singing Who, or the Who as in Bobo O'Reilly Teenage Wasteland?
Bobo O'Reilly Teenage Wasteland.
So I'm just gonna kind of like do this and be like, Wheels, you were paying attention, right?
Yeah, they were armed. Do any of us have any weapons?
And I'm just gonna kind of look at you like you know me, and, but I'm
fair
also
point.
not gonna.
Fair point. Fair point.
And,
Yeah. Levers drives like you would expect a kind of dramatic person to be. A little fast, takes the curves a little tight too tight once in a while. Sings really loud.
Mm-hmm.
Tries to get Wheels to come in and snuggle up.
I feel like Wheels is gonna be, Lover, you got a great voice. Keep singing. Wheels is like jamming to the music and.
Oh, right, I forgot that was one of your things.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted me to sing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Lover goes, oh, really?
Yes, Lover.
Okay. Let's see, what song? Well, since we happen to mention it, that's Bob O'Reilly comes on.
It's funny because that's one of the songs I recognized from our Yale Capades.
I put it on there.
Mm-hmm.
Teenage Wasteland, because my character in that game spent times in the wasteland as a teenager.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love it.
So I am going to go full diva here.
Yes.
Make it all about me.
Yes.
And how much of a teenage wasteland my life has been. And driving poorly as I sing with all my heart.
Anytime we start to go off the road, like you wanted Wheels to come snuggle up, Wheels is kind of snuggling up, and anytime you start to go off, kind of steering the wheel a little bit.
I don't need to fight.
Exactly.
Close my eyes for a second there.
Tim wants to sing along.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately, we have copyright. We can't sing for very long. It's like
12
a few
seconds.
seconds.
I think
Yeah.
12 seconds. Teenage Wasteland. Except for Wheels, apparently Lover has a great singing voice. Not as much as I don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I think this is making it all about me with the drama and the poor driving. So I'm going to take a token.
Yes.
Our first move of the day.
And I'll have been like bopping along in the back with my bike and Alex, and I'm gonna kind of get sort of wistful about the past and memories and all the stories that we've lived internally. And I'm just gonna kind of get a little bit serious all of a sudden and turn to Alex and say, like, what what do you want for the future?
Mm.
And so I'm gonna
Take a token, yeah, for sure. So Alex gets a little daydreamer gaze on their face. And so honestly, I really just want to find a community that accepts everyone. But I don't know what that looks like. And I really don't know. All I've known are people who hurt others or don't accept others for whatever stupid reason. Like, honestly, I'm surprised you didn't leave me on the side of the road because I made a stupid move.
And for context, what was that stupid move?
I mean, I jumped on the front.
Oh, just
Yeah,
just now.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm going to then, like, do you have any experience with finding people who are accepting?
Thank you for asking me for my experience, and make sure you gain a token. And I'm gonna kind of look up towards the front cab and say, well, I've had some luck here and there. It's kind of hard to figure out how to have everybody accept everybody else. But if you're lucky, you'll find a place where people will accept, and what they can't, they'll be okay with. And see. For instance, let me tell you the story about wheels.
Are you saying this loud enough for Wheels to hear?
Probably
not with the music blasting in the front and us singing.
Blasting.
So go ahead.
So because I think in this group I'm like the much older one, and I'll say, I first met Wheels when I was a much younger Zem, and they were, probably about where you are, and I didn't have a whole lot of extra experience. I don't, I hadn't met Lover yet. It's a little bit more green, maybe not as green as you. And I'll kind of chuckle. Do you have any minor reaction to?
I kind of have a little smile on my face.
And let's see, where were we? Oh man, I think this was back in the days before Florida completely submerged.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I think we were, somewhere around, oh man, I don't know, like Orlando had this town, like that part was mostly submerged, but it was kind of this hideaway because of that. Like everybody else had fled, and so those of us that were looking to get away from it all um, found some solace in having a place that nobody else really wanted to be. And um, I think I was, um, before I had this beautiful horse right here, and I kind of gently stroked the motorcycle. uh, oh, um, man, this was back when I had a beautiful, beautiful painted horse by the name of Oreo. Um, and I know you youngins have no idea what that is, but just roll with me.
Okay.
And I just tied her up after we'd kind of gone around where there's been like there were certain pathways that were raised, but otherwise it was pretty much submerged, and there were walkways that floated that we would take down to the pass, and there were certain things where you had to, take a couple of barrels and push them into a break so that you could go across, but to everybody else it looked like some broken down pathway not to mess with. And I believe I found Wheels before they had taken that moniker, and they were trying to show off, and down by this little like tavern meetup roadside place for us travelers, and they kept they went and they stood on this big old tree trunk that was out in the water, and they were walking on it backwards while it spun forwards, and trying to really show off. And then Wheels wasn't so lucky and took a dive for it. And so I tore my jacket off and jumped in and pulled up the poor youngin, all like coughing and sputtering water up, and had to do some mouth to mouth, and just to make sure we got all the water out. And just a few moments later, a big old gator came swimming by. You could hear it rumble through the water. And I mentioned to Wheels that they might have been a tasty little snack there, and maybe they should stick to dry land. And I think that advice kind of took Wheels pretty far, if I do say so myself. So, find what you're good at and double down on it. And
must be why they're wheels and not sails, huh?
I'm gonna have this like really deep
at that moment
laugh
while you're having the deep conversation where like lovers like veering off a bit, and then you feel the car come back when Wheels pulls it back.
So but
a group of motorcycles zip past us, and they're clowns.
Oh no!
Like 6 of them on motorcycles, and they just go right past. Don't even.
And
Did you see that? Hey, did you all see that?
clowns. Why did it have to be clowns?
Alec, I'm just like, wait, what? I was very focused.
They're more
on
like
the story.
like Italian European clowns, or like they're not like the American red-nosed clown. They're like this kind of more slightly dramatic looking. Yeah.
Okay. That's a little bit more acceptable. It might not trigger some bizarre past memory that Moisha had.
Right. I mean,
but in order to figure out where you're gonna double down, you gotta jump on some logs, and you gotta fall a couple of times. You'll get there, kid.
Aw, you're really wise.
wise ass.
I heard that. Sorry if that was really loud.
You're fine.
So players, are we going to drive through the night, or are we going to camp? We have enough people we can drive through the night.
We can drive through the night, and we stopped for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
someone else takes over driving.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Who's going to take over driving?
Fine. Y'all can sleep while I drive. I think I'm going to have to say that line in every episode now.
I was thinking of moving it along to find the place we're going to today.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So we drive through the night. No incidents.
Maybe.
Morning comes. We stop and pee and, brush our teeth or whatever things anyone cares to do.
Always bury your poop.
Yep.
I feel like this is a good time to show off the map.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
whereabouts are we?
Wait,
we're just outside of a
where's
certain destination.
All our drawings are gone from the map.
What?
That's weird. They're on mine.
They're on my
Let me
map,
refresh
too.
mine.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Must have happened when the computer crashed.
I'm thinking we're approaching that, we've made it past the fires.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because we avoided those roads.
we kind of started here, and it kind of.
Oh wait, how do we draw on here? I think we're kind of in between the fires and the camping and the blue.
Oh, look at us go!
So we're like here now.
Dun, 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 dun,
I should have made it a different color.
We're kind of like in the T in Salt Lake City.
Okay. So
Maybe
yeah, that works.
by morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where we are. Well, and our faces will be back now.
So as we continue to drive after we finish our morning ablutions. I think it's ablutions. Brain fart. Your morning things. Shit, shower, and shave.
Mm-hmm.
Or not.
We're driving along.
We're not.
Yeah, or not. And Alex, you see above the trees off ahead of us, you see bodies kind of go up and do, like flips, and then go dip down behind the tree, and then 2 go up and do flips and dip back down below the trees. Like, this is pretty high up. This is like, they're getting some air.
Like, oh my gosh, yeah. There are like people flying up. Does anybody else see that?
I see that as amazing.
What?
And there's actually a little bit of traffic. When I mean a little bit of traffic, I mean like, another car passes us while we're, a truck a pickup truck of people.
So no
in the
gridlock,
back.
no bumper to bumper, but
No bumper to bumper. But we see while we're stopped for half an hour to eat and brush our teeth, like 4 or 5 vehicles go by.
Mm-hmm. And
one of them was like, woohoo! And they wave at us.
What is going on? Alex doesn't recognize like what all of this means. I haven't been around anywhere.
I mean, does anyone
Are
have?
you asking for my experience again?
Yeah. Do you know what this could be? What's your experience with this stuff?
Um, uh, I'm just gonna kind of look around to the group and say, well, Alex, I think we're about to have a grand gay old time. And um I like pull my glasses down and I probably did the wrong eye that I winked with, but whatever. Um and I'll um kind of get a little bit I don't a little bit more laid back than I generally tend to be and be like, hey, lover, looks like the carnival's in town.
We found the carnival, or it found us.
It's
I've
hard to
heard
know,
about
man.
It's hard to tell. Yeah.
Carnival still exist?
I've heard about it. Yeah, they just pop up, and people having
I'm
fun and trading. And
always super
Cool.
fascinated, uh, wondering how they get up so high without any wings.
as we move down the road a little farther, we see like carnival, gay old time, up ahead, and makeshift signs that like were put up this morning, kind of thing.
Right. Right.
And I think everything's got like we've probably seen stuff that's like like mostly like natural occurring colors, but like all of it's got some sort of fluorescence or spectacle to it.
And as we get closer, it's gonna take us another hour or so to get there, right? But there's more traffic coming in off of side roads and whatnot and joining up. And eventually we pull up on a giant parking lot, kind of, which is a field, a big wide open space up here in the foothills kind of area.
I am picturing like a bigger part because, I mean, we said it's not that big as it is on the map, but it's a big carnival. I'm picturing like a bigger parking lot than Disneyland has.
I mean, there are gonna be thousands of people here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's horses and horse-drawn wagons and cars and motorcycles and bicycles, and any sort of mode of transportation.
Mm-hmm. It's all
Word
here.
obviously has been spreading for a while.
So I'm gonna park the truck sort of like I feel like it's in an area that's sort of like maybe like tucked behind a mountain and there's some trees so that way there's a little bit of like privacy to it, even though there's these like big signs leading up to it.
I mean, there's
the
main parking lot, and then there's people who are kind of can't pull it up around the edges because they want a little more distance. But
and so I want to park us on the outside because I want to make sure we always have a getaway.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lover and I definitely have some experience with how having a really gay old time can sometimes end up in a authoritarian regime.
Lover's in the back going through the suitcase like this. No,
What you got to get the perfect outfit, Lover.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, that was loud. It's in here somewhere.
And Moisha's like dodging the clothing and maybe like notices some undergarments like flying towards Alex and like grabbing them, like tossing them back in your suitcase before they land on Alex.
And Alex is literally like, messy hair, all black clothes, pretty pale, just like standing there. Like not.
Alex, do you want some clothes? Do you want an outfit? Can I dress you up?
Oh, Lover, you love playing dress up. Good makeover.
Oh, you look. Oh,
Maybe?
this would look so good on you.
What is that?
You tell me what did I pull out?
It's like a rainbow colored tube top. Okay. And I like put it around my arm a couple of times and like, hey, oh, cool, huh?
I was like, lover.
Lump it over your head.
Just go along with it for now, Alex.
Okay, this is fun.
I mean, if you don't like it, you don't have to like it. I want you to be comfortable and look marvelous.
Yeah, I mean, what, Moisha?
You can try on more than one thing. It's not always the first thing that's the best fit.
Lover does have a large variety of options of clothes.
Yeah, there's no shortage of options.
Yeah, okay. So the whole tight thing that it's not working for me. Do you have something that I could put over, like something bigger?
Oh, you want to wear that though?
No.
Okay.
It's over what you were wearing before you put the tube top on.
Yeah. So now I just have my black shirt on.
Yeah. Gives you a big foofy shirt. You know, kind of like a poet shirt with some ruffles and big poofy sleeves.
How's that feeling on you, Alex? What kind of face are you making? What kind of body
no. Okay, how about a paisley blazer?
That could work.
Okay.
I could give this a try, yeah.
Takes out the hand steamer.
I love it so much.
Give you a paisley blazer.
Yeah, this is pretty cute. Thank you.
Smoking. I'm doing my Klaus season 1 of Umbrella Academy. Before the guru hippie days.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna go over and do that little thing where they like tug on the lapel to make sure that it's like fitting quite right and getting the shoulders into place, and just say, you know, like, looking good, kid. Kind of like give you a pat on the back and maybe put my arm on your shoulder a little bit and say, and look at Lover and be like, you do some good work, Lover.
Oh.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
Ready as I'm ever.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's hit it.
It's a long walk through parking areas. There are some people like, you know, doing grilled cheese in front of their car and that kind of stuff.
I'm picturing like grilled cheese on the hood of cars.
Or on the engine.
Well, it's not that hot, right?
Right.
Like on the engine blocks or whatnot.
It's slowly getting, it's becoming more of a flea market as we walk.
Mm-hmm.
We noticed that panel truck and the motorcycle guy with the Mustang. Their panel truck is there and it's open, and they have just like a whole resale shop, you know, laid out in the truck and on the ground now in front of their truck. And it's like a free store. Leave one, take one kind of thing.
So, I'm gonna go rummage through, and I'm basically like looking for something to put the sheen back on my bike after the incident that we had.
Looking like polish kind of thing, or a new muffler,
so like wax or something.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And I'll I'll pick up a can of it that's like it's like mostly used. You know, you can see the bottom of the tin in the center, but there's still some on the outsides. Um,
With the
and
truck doors open, they
yeah.
have a logo on the inside of the truck doors that's a dollar sign with a cross, crossed out dollar sign,
Mhm.
and wings on the top of the circle around it.
And so kind of give a knowing nod um to the cause of the band, and I'll tuck the polish into my jacket, and I'll like because I still like to do an even exchange when I can. um I will um I'll hop out of the truck and find the individual that was on the motorcycle before,
Yeah.
and I'll just take some of my like homemade jerky and um and hand it to them and say thanks for the thanks for keeping up the good fight.
I feel like Wheels is gonna come running up behind you and like, you see, look, they got some drumsticks. Can you grab me those? I don't have anything to give them, and I want to give them something. Can you get me those?
Lover takes a silk scarf off of their neck, hands it to you.
Okay, I'm gonna take it. Thanks, lover, and like hands them the silk scarf, and then picks up the drumsticks and is just like fascinated and has like drumming in the air with them.
When you ran up to me, like how did you do that? Like
Like running up behind you and like arm on your shoulder and like head around the other side, like, hey, can you get me those?
so I think that, because I don't know where we left things, and I'm kind of want to keep things slow. I'm gonna sort of, without thinking about it, kind of like jerk away for a minute, because I think like you're finally sort of like opening up and getting like a little bit more happy go lucky, like you might have been when we were last together.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. The lover gave me the scarf then. Okay. Thanks, lover.
You
You
want
needed a
anything,
trade.
kid?
You needed to gift them something.
So Alex had never seen anything like this before. And it almost feels like I'm in a dream because they're not asking for money, which I've never really had anyways. And I don't really have anything to trade. But when I look down, there is like a brush, but it's got like a wooden handle. It's a hairbrush with a wooden handle, and there's black wings engraved on the back of the brush. And I just pick it up and I stare at it, and like I feel the wind through my hair for the first time, and I'm like, I think I should get this. What do I do?
Sitting on the truck now, there's a young woman watching you. And she goes, "That's yours, honey."
Are you sure?
I can tell when something belongs to somebody.
Thank you. This feels like the best day of my life.
Welcome home.
I kind of run the brush through my hair a little bit, and I'm very much treasuring it.
And so I'm gonna sort of like maybe Lover and me and Wheels are all sort of standing somewhat together, and might be distracted with some of the stuff that like Wheels is definitely distracted, so I'll kind of nudge Lover a little bit nicely, and then I'm just gonna kind of like jab Wheels with my elbow to get your attention.
Oh.
Like, but I'm nicely to Lover, like, hey, but and be like, looks like the kid is on a journey to start getting their wings.
Can I hear that?
Am
I close
like
enough?
maybe you hear it faintly. Yeah.
So I'm not, because I'm not like right next to you, I don't say any. I'm not sure if I heard the right thing or if I thought it inside my head. And so I don't say anything, but I smile and just kind of think about that.
If you do glance back at
Wheels
us,
is gonna like fist pump.
yeah, you definitely see all of us looking probably pretty proud or happy.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm famished. How about y'all?
You just
Let's see what we can find.
yeah. Food is good.
So what other kind of things do we see in this flea market of a carnival right now? I was going to ask that question anyway.
See, like I see food of all kinds from all over, and lots of different spices and colorful things.
And I imagine some people are selling things for cash, some are trading, some are just gifting it. There's all sorts of ways that people are engaging in the flea market aspect.
And then since I do know that Wheels kind of sticks to the present and is pretty aware of it, I'm just gonna say, like, what do you sense in Wheels? Where's the good stuff?
Wheels kind of closes his eyes and smells, and that way. There's something good that way.
What do you smell?
I think I smell a place that's got like, I mean, it's a set, like they're doing this out of like the back of like probably a camper or something, but it's like greasy diner food.
So how about everyone along the way was one stall that we go by, just that we don't have to stop at, just to give it some flavor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What looks good to you, Alex?
I'm pretty fascinated by this woodworking stall. It's almost like they can make anything with wood, whether it be furniture or whittling like a statue. I don't buy anything or necessarily even stop, but I just think of all the possibility, and it feels like that's where we're going, is possibility. Like, because you can just take this piece of wood and make anything. And Alex has never seen something like that before and thinks it's so cool.
I think Wheels sees a stall of like, not that there's a whole lot of ways to like play all this stuff, but like there's like a shop with vinyl and like old MP3 players. Like they've got some like iPods with the wheels and some Zunes and like some old stuff for us.
It's surprising what we do out here in the secondary market without the pressure of planned obsolescence. And I'm still on a food tangent, so I'm smelling like there's like a takoyaki stand, and they're doing it with lots of flair and speed, and flipping them over in the hot pans, little by little, and they all come out perfectly. And there's like a sweet potato stand where they just give you like the whole sweet potato. There's also like just yeah stuff from there's one place that's uh like this whole stand is like kind of like around the world in 60 bites or something like that. So they've got like 60 different things from around the world, some of which aren't even supposed to be allowed.
I think we see someone dealing in like high-end sports cars, like Lamborghinis and all that. And there's like they have a half a dozen like super expensive cars that are working to sell or trade, like in the middle of all this, right? Doesn't matter. But I also think at that place of all the music that Lara described, they've got this ring of speakers set up, kind of just a little bit set off from everybody. And there's people lying on the ground, like just a 40-foot diameter at most, 30-foot even, of speakers, and people lying on the ground in the middle of the speakers.
Wheels is gonna kind of look at the people like as we're walking, kind of like that meme where like there's the guy and the girl and the other girl, like the food is behind the guy in that meme, and then the speakers. So it's like delicious food, and then wheels, and then staring at like the speakers as we're walking.
Lover's gonna notice and then grab your arm and run towards the speakers. Slap down on the ground.
Yeah, and we're gonna just like lay out and listen to this music.
It's this, they got music looping and they're playing with the fact that there's 16 speakers in a circle. The sound can move and whoosh around at different places. And people look like they've been here for an hour. Some of them.
I'm gonna hope that I just get like caught up in the moment. But I'll be very responsive to feedback. I'm just gonna kind of grab Alex in a like a fireman's carry, and huff over and
means like slumped over your shoulder.
Yeah, like
which one?
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Yeah. So like over the shoulder, but then you can kind of like have someone so that their midsection is here, so their legs are here and their head is on this side. So and I'm just gonna head over to the speakers. How does Alex feel about that?
Yeah, Alex thinks that's great. I think Alex was really didn't know if we could go into the speakers, and was watching them go in curiously. And then you like swept me away, and like that's never a bad thing. And then you like can feel the music in your body and the beats, and that feels pretty incredible. There's some bass that's really like getting in there. I don't know what to say though. I'm just kind of like, I was laughing as we were running, and then laying and trying to be quiet and feel it.
Just feel the bass.
Yeah.
What about Wheels and Lover? What are you guys feeling in the circle?
I think Wheels once again has like eyes closed, just soaking in this music, and like Alex is feeling, like you can feel it in your body, and like once again Wheels has got the drumsticks and is kind of like just drumming in the air in front of them.
And I'm gonna, well, I wanna, Lover, is there anything you wanted to mention about your experience?
Just loving it.
Just loving it. So I'll really be getting into it, and then my stomach is gonna just like growl like almost as loud as the like music and the bass. And I'll kind of loudly whisper because obviously like the music's super loud, but I know that um Lover and Wheels will be fine with just possibly like splitting up a little bit, but I'll just let Alex know like you can stay and chill. I'm just gonna take care of uh good old Pooh Bear right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna kind of hop up and sort of dash off towards the food.
It's a little earlier than we planned, but what about? It's like a good place for that break.
For that break? Yeah, yeah, it's about a
Yeah.
good time.
When
Yeah.
we get
Let's
back,
take a break, and
Where
you'll
did I
find out
go?
where Moy went.
yeah.
Maybe.
All right.
Who,
Maybe.
where I went? How?
Maybe. All right. So I'm gonna put us on a break, and we'll be back in what usually it's
10,
10,
10 minutes? How long?
10 to 15. Let's play in
Okay.
10 so we get back in 15, guys. All right. I'm gonna put us on a break. And we're back. We are back.
We are back.
Right.
I hope everyone enjoyed the break.
Woo!
Exciting.
So, to quickly recap, I have run off towards the foods, and y'all are in the zone with the music.
We're zoned out
Mhm.
or in.
And did you just like tell me that you were leaving, or did they hear it as well?
No, I just told you're the only one I think that could hear, because I don't think we're right next to them.
Okay. So Alex is like, very torn. The music is great, the feeling is great, but we have lost Moisha. And so I'm trying to pay attention to what direction you're going, as I'm also working my way over to Lover and Wheels. And I'm like, hey, come on.
What?
Wait, what?
Hi.
Let's go find Moisha.
Moy ran off again.
Yeah.
Moi.
I feel like that's something that's going to happen in every episode.
Usually that's me running off.
You'll be able to find them then, right?
Usually we can. And Wheels is going to stretch and push himself up off the ground and pick up the drumsticks. All right. Lover, you want some help up?
Lover will gladly take a hand up.
All right. So Wheels reaches out and helps pull you
And of
up.
course, stumble into a, you having to catch Lover as Lover almost falls.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
Was
Lover
it on
does.
purpose? We'll never know.
You'll always know.
You'll always know. It always is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You'll always know.
All right. Let's go find Moy. I think probably look for food where I was, the food place.
You said diner food.
Yeah.
So let's assume Moy's looking for the diner food.
Well, let's follow my nose then.
All right, they did seem to go off in that direction.
Okay. And we're gonna go along to the food place, or at least following the direction that Moish went.
And so I think that the situation that you will come across Moy in is that it is it's at the diner, and so there's a bunch of like the diner's kind of also on like the edge side, so there's also a bunch of like motorcycle parking like right outside the diner.
They've set up booths outside, like old school diner booths.
Mm-hmm. And they Moy's in an argument with someone twice their size, and kind of getting like they're yelling, and the like Moy looks pretty like not much for this other person to handle. And they've got like Moy by like the collar and the jacket, kind of like threatening them with a big fist, but Moy looks like not intimidated at all. And they're just yelling at each other, like insults.
I'm gonna sashay over.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my, look at you, big hunk of everything. Aren't you the most exciting person I've ever seen in this whole wonderful show? You have got me feeling some kind of way, darling.
And
The way you handle this perpetrator. Talking to the person bigger than you.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if Mary or Maggie would like to play the role of this big brutish fella.
Sure, sure.
Of whatever gender you perceive them as.
Okay.
I'm telling kind lies, getting a token for that.
Ooh. Oh, and I'll give you a moment to think. An update from earlier when I shared the story about wheels. I actually was using a strong move of telling how it went well before to basically console Alex. So I'm gonna use up a token for that. Bring me down to 2. But that's all right.
And actually, I used up a token getting onto the motorcycle as well. That was
Except you didn't get on. I say you didn't get on the motorcycle.
I mean, I was on it. Attempt.
Well, you were on it, but it crashed. It's like I call that
on it, but
I wouldn't say it was
So-
a
But
successful maneuver.
that wasn't a successful maneuver. That would be like a regular like take action, leaving yourself vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
would say
Okay.
you don't have to
Gotcha.
spend a token for if you crash a motorcycle.
Okay. Well, keep me accountable. Okay. Lover, can you remind me what you were saying to Big
I
Dude?
came up and told them, "Oh my, look at you, big hunk of everything. You're the most exciting person I've seen here all day." And like, hand on the chest kind of thing.
and kind of like, look at you take care of this.
Yeah, handling this perpetrator.
So he looks down at his chest and your hand on his chest. Then he looks back at you and he steps back a little bit. Excuse me, but who are you?
I may just be the love of your life.
He looks around and there's like this.
Don't you want to be needed?
You are actually kind of offending me. My lover is right over here.
Oh, of course you have a lover. What a silly thought on my part.
And there's this little guy, like, just pretty scrawny looking, significantly shorter than the bigger dude. And he hears, "Hey, did I just hear something about someone else and my lover?"
My name is Lover.
Well, you can't put your hands on my guy.
No offense meant.
And I'm curious, the big guy, has he is he still holding on to Moisha, or is he, even though he stepped back, or has he
has let go? As his guy has kind of come in between everyone. Mm-hmm. And he like looks over at Moisha. The big guy looks over at Moisha, and he is wanting to get back into whatever conversation y'all were just having.
Gotcha. Sorry, my computer is having a slow time. I'm trying to go through my moves to be a little bit
gotcha
about some of that, and is and like scroll.
I think I'm going to, like, since he let go, I'm gonna blow past something I should think about and just walk on by. Like, I know this is meant more for like my own thoughts, but I'm gonna blow past something I should think about. Just foolishly walk right up, just walk up and kind of push, like, put my arm on Moisha's back and just like, hey, let's go this way and check out this other thing. Just ignoring like the the big guy.
Okay, so the big dude is like, what is happening here? Is it like no? And he reaches towards Moisha. Yeah. And like grabs Moisha's clothes.
Again.
Like, yeah.
Uh,
No, we need to talk about this.
and
What are you doing here?
I'm just gonna kind of run my mouth off a bunch and slur a bunch of insults at this guy, and basically the part that's discernible is like you violent galoots don't don't have any right to them, and they're not one of you. And with that, I'm gonna just like use my foot to push over the bike on the end into the next bike and basically knock over the whole, like, this is
Dominoes.
Yeah.
Was that a taking action, leaving yourself vulnerable?
Yeah, so that was that would be a vulnerable move of literally running my mouth off.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess leaving myself vulnerable.
Well, you ran your mouth off. I didn't know that was your move.
No, it's okay. It's all right. So I will gain a token for that. But so how's the rest of my fellow travelers feel about the action that I just took?
Well, 2 booths worth of bikers stand up that we hadn't really noticed before.
Hey, crew, come over here. And as all this is happening, Alex is like standing further back because they haven't like gotten into any action yet. And it's just like dumbfounded staring at everyone, pretty much. And so the 2 booths of people like bikers stand up and they want to get violent with you.
So I'm kind of ready to like actually get into stuff, and I tuck my hand into one jacket pocket and pull out some like brass knuckles looking kind of thing, but it's actually for each finger it's like a unicorn head, and then it has their horns. And then
that sounds really violent for brass knuckles.
Well, they're for different occasions. And then for the other hand, he's just gonna reach into their boot and pull like a longer like switchblade kind of pocket knife.
Wheels is just like, Moy, your mouth is getting us in trouble again.
And Moish is just gonna be like, don't you want to be in the moment? Nothing like a good fight.
Lover, are you still close to the action?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to jump on a table, but I'm there.
Okay. I have to look up something.
So you're Moish, you're in a gang?
So
Like, where's your gang? Like, where's headquarters for your gang? Just curious. Like, who's in your gang?
So my gang is actually a gang of people who have pledged to not be in a gang.
The no gang?
Yeah. So we feel like that starts to create a power structure that isn't good for anybody. So we're all individuals.
You're individuals together.
Yes.
A gang of loners.
Yeah. So we're a gang of loners. So it's basically the people who recognize and appreciate us are those who are not fond of the gangs that have gotten out of control and also seem to be used as security for these kinds of events.
Okay.
Did you have a thing that was happening, Maggie? Was something happening when you asked me where we were, where everyone was?
Yes, yeah. So, big dude takes out like some nunchuck looking things, and in one hand, are these the guys that we saw on the road, or we saw those? Okay. So nothing to do with the ones with the guns. All right. I just had to make sure.
No, the ones with the guns were the truck.
Back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The free store people, the mutual aid people.
Yeah. So dude takes out nunchucks and like hits towards Moisha.
Does he do a little display of like he knows how to use them?
Yeah.
I'll turn to the boyfriend.
Insert video of Bruce Lee here.
Yes.
Right.
I'll turn to the small boyfriend and go, looks like we got a fight on our hands. Do we want that?
Yeah, we're gonna kick your butt. Do you see what you just did to our bikes?
What
Z did.
Y'all look together, so all of you did
That's
this.
True.
Okay. The booze of people are also coming in and taking out their weapons, and they've got a collection of weapons that can knives, guns, different
Baseball
things.
bats. Wait, someone's bringing a gun to a knife fight? Uh-oh.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Wheels, you're the closest one to me, I suppose. So
Thanks, Moy. I've got these drumsticks and these guns. And that's it.
The big dude like swats a drumstick out of your hand and it falls down.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump up on a table by the other guys who are coming. I'm going to take a strong move, help them forget about the world for a moment. And I'm going to start singing, I've just gotta be me, launch into show tune. Spend a token to hopefully distract some of them from the world for a moment.
And so, yeah.
They're very confused.
No.
Watching you.
I'm assuming,
but distracted.
I'm pulling some of them out of the fight.
Yeah.
Because I'm spending a token to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And just so you know, like Moy is like red in the face, not really in a place to be talked out of much of anything. So that's my hint to Wheels about how to not try to convince me not to fight. So basically, words aren't going to do much for
Words
me.
aren't going to do anything.
So there aren't mechanics for combat in these games. We just have to make some moves
Make
that
some
summarize the
moves.
whole fight. Right? We're not going to do turn by turn like a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Right. Well, I feel
So-
like when the drumstick got knocked out of Wheels' hand, Wheels is, oh hell no, and like goes down to look like he's gonna pick it up, and then he's gonna try to hit the big guy. So so we're gonna make some contact. I don't know if that's gonna go so well or not, because this guy is a lot bigger than Wheels.
Do you have a token to spend and a move to make to bring it in your favor, or are you going to lose?
Probably not. I think it's just going to be a take action, leaving yourself vulnerable, or do something dangerous to stop wandering thoughts.
Yeah, maybe having the drumstick knocked out of your hand brings up some bad memories.
I mean, you can take a vulnerable move and we lose the fight, right? Or anyone takes a vulnerable move loses the fight, essentially. Or strong moves to win.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
Oversimplifying it.
So I might do one of my regular moves, which is to find a temporary solution, which is, I think I kind of realized from Wheels attempting to attack this big galoot, and that it's not really as much as I want to like get my hands dirty, because I'm pretty pissed. I can't get what I want by fighting them as much as I'd like to. So I basically, because there's like the keyhole in the motorcycle, and I've got my switchblade, so I flip it to a different tool, and I basically use that to, it's like a skeleton key for motorcycles. And I use that to take the first bike that I kicked over and start it up. And I toss the key at least at Wheels, and I think during that moment that you sang, I might have seen Alex off in the distance and kind of get reminded of my sort of mentorship role.
Just going to game mechanics, what move are you using to steal the motorcycle?
That was my temporary solution to this problem. So I was technically doing it as a regular move, but it does feel a little bit more extreme than that. I could also use my move to teach a lesson as a strong move, and I think I might be teaching them a lesson by stealing their bike. Even whether or not they learn from it, but I'm kind of using the phrase like, I'm gonna teach you a lesson. I'm taking it in a different way, so I can spend a token for that.
Wheels, how are you getting out of there?
How am I getting out of there?
Remember, I tossed my skeleton key at you.
You did toss the skeleton key at me.
So I'm going to argue there's a lot going on.
Lover's making a good distraction.
I can take a vulnerable move to drive recklessly and hop on the motorcycle and not get very far. But I'm going to get far enough away from this immediate solution, or this immediate situation.
So Moisha, you're driving away, like you got the bike started.
Yeah, I got the bike started. I'm driving away from the galoot. If I can add to my strong move, I think that because I mentioned I got reminded by Alex of sort of my mentorship stuff.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to basically like find a way to basically pick up Alex by coming at Alex sort of like from behind, and then I'm gonna tip like I'm gonna brake to tip the bike forward and kind of like scoop you up so that you're over the handlebars.
Well, this looks familiar.
And there's like some pegs on the front wheel. And then I'm gonna kind of wheel and head off, like, or like turn around and head off towards Wheels.
The big dude.
And I'm gonna like rev the engine as I pass the big delete guy again.
The big dude is like hitting wherever he can, but he can't get to anyone, and his nunchucks are flying in the air, like just all going as he's trying to get to Wheels, but Wheels took off. Then he looks over at Lover, and he's the only one left. Right.
Well, while I've made them forget about the world for a while, I'm gonna slip away.
There you go.
So Lover is no longer in sight, and hopefully my revving the motorcycle engine helped distract for that escape.
We're gonna find you, big dude yells.
So I'm gonna turn back to Alex and say, anyone ever taught you about blown raspberries?
What?
And so I'm just gonna say, just do like I do, and I'm gonna kind of like turn back towards the big biker gang and just do like and and ride off.
Alex tries to do it, but is also trying to focus on staying on the bike.
And Wheels, you mentioned you weren't gonna get very far with the bike. How far do you get? Where are you?
I think because I'm not like I've ridden a motorcycle before, I think, but not very much. So like I get so far, and then I don't know. I don't crash the bike, but I think
Ditch the bike.
I ditch it. And I'm like, no, this is not, like, I'm swerving. I see this is not working for me. Ditch the bike and just like try to get my bearings. Like, where am I?
Do you happen to have ditched the bike right next to all the really nice cars?
Sure, I ditched the bike next to all the really nice cars. The sports, the luxury car vendor. And I kind of look after where you're going.
Where did Lover sneak off to? Like, do Lover and I have a do we have any kind of like backup plan that we've created when we used to be together for like where we meet up or when things go wrong at a carnival, because they probably always do?
Meet back at camp.
I mean, we do all know where the truck is.
Sure.
So I guess it's up to you, Wheels, whether or not you want to have ditched the. Well,
I said,
like, what do you do after you ditch the bike? Do you just meet us at camp or?
Probably, yeah. Head back to the truck.
It's going to take Lover an hour to get there because there have to be some flirting along the way.
Along the way with like everybody.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna drive the motorcycle until I'm certain no one's like following us anymore, and then I'm gonna basically turn it off and walk it back to the mutual aid truck, and I'm gonna let Alex know I got some stuff to take care of, and I'll meet you back at camp. And then I start just like I have another multi-tool that I take out of another pocket and just start basically like stripping the bike down and taking like a piece or two that I know might be helpful for my bike, and then giving the rest of the pieces to the mutual aid, because and I give them a heads up and let them know, like, make sure however it gets put back together, it's not recognizable.
Don't leave that here. Is their attitude at first. Don't get us. No. We know whose bike that is.
So that I look at them and I'm like, come on, surely you know there's somebody that needs this.
We're kind of like Sweden here.
Precisely. You're my Swiss bank account.
No.
And I'm depositing a
neutral
little
Sweden.
So,
no. Look, we know those insignias. We know the marks on the bike.
So I'm just gonna kind of I'm gonna find a place where there's like if you've ever been to a Ren fair that's not paved fully, there's always like a muddy, murky spot. So I'm just gonna kind of get it basically like all stuck up in the mud, like really badly. On purpose, and so that even if they do find it, it'll give us some time to get out of there. And I think I'm gonna go looking around for the person that I was arguing about. And so basically what I'd found out from the galoot was that I'd seen a figure from my past wearing their like their patch on the back, and that figure had wandered off, but I was basically taking it up with the boss. And they were basically like, who are you to tell us what to do? Maybe I come back and I was like, I should meet you all at the camp, and I guess face whatever you have to tell me after my actions. So I come back, I'm like basically just like covered in mud.
Lover is going to make it about Lover and not come back for like hours. Because ends up at some camp with a bunch of people who, need the divine call of love. And doing my divine duty. I think I have to say that every episode too. Wait, was that my other game where I'm playing an angel? I'm playing an angel in a different game also.
Do Wheels or Alex like say anything to me when I show up covered in mud?
Um, I feel like I'm gonna take a strong move and stop and process what happened. What the fuck was that, Moy?
Um, that that was personal.
That was like, what was it?
What do you mean? What was it?
We almost all got the shit beat out of us for whatever that was.
Wheels, if anything, you should know, like, that's just the life we live.
I just want to what was it that what was the guy yelling at you about?
Um, I kind of huff and um like I don't really want to talk about it,
Mhm.
but I feel like you're not going to let me just like brush it off the way that like um I might be able to get away with others. So I'm gonna kind of like while I'm trying to figure out what to say, um, I'm gonna kind of peel the layers off that I need to kind of like get out of the muddy clothes, um, um, and I'm gonna start pulling some backup stuff out of the motorcycle. But what you notice as I take my jacket off, so my jacket has these stitched in angel wings on the back, um, and what you notice of my actual angel wings is that they're like incredibly damaged and worn and um basically not usable in any way. And they kind of look like they hurt. um and I kind of take a minute and sigh, sort of like leaning on the bike a little bit, and I'll kind of turn to Wheels, and kind of gruffly be like, do you remember what happened to me?
I don't like to think about it.
Yeah, I don't either. That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
That's true, I suppose.
You don't think stopping that from happening to someone else is worth getting your ass kicked for?
I just want to know what I'm getting my ass kicked for.
I think I'm gonna look over at Alex and kind of try to register. How is Alex feeling about the like somewhat cryptic arguments, and emotionally know Moisha's being pretty chill and taking things in paces.
Alex has a ton of thoughts running through their head. They're trying to process everything, but they also don't have a lot of the information that they feel like is behind your words, but not actually being said. So I was just trying to think of if I could make a move. So it's just a regular move. I want to try and help you, even if I don't know how. And so I ask if you need me to do anything for your wings, because you look like you're in pain. And that's when I see someone in pain, I can't just like ignore that.
And I'll say, I think, what I'll say to that is, thanks for the thought, kid, but sometimes it's worth it to have the pain to remember. And I'm gonna kind of think for a minute and I'll set up some like kindling and take some flint out and get a little sort of like campfire started. And I'm gonna like sit down and kind of say, let's see. I think I'm gonna just do a regular ask, like a regular move kind of ask, and just before I get started, I'm gonna say like, what stories have you heard about me? And
Or this is to the player.
Oh,
asks are to the players.
That's okay.
Oh, okay.
How does that work?
You, Nina, are asking Maggie what stories.
So it's not in
Alex has heard.
Okay.
Yeah, I get confused with it a lot too. But we're building story and asking outside information that the characters may not know, but the players will know.
That can affect and drive our storytelling.
Thank you for that clarification. So, Mary or Maggie, what stories has Alex heard about Moisha or someone that might be Moisha?
So there are stories about, there's stories about biker gangs, and oh darn it. One in particular about like a really big conflict that happened. And I don't know that Alex knows that it was about Moisha though.
Okay.
Because Alex didn't know Moisha, and it's just basically about what I'm curious, do you have a backstory to how your wings got that way?
Not 100%. But I'm trying to figure out how much to reveal versus how much, like through talking versus storytelling, because I want to give you information that might be helpful. But I guess basically, you know, what, and we did talk about this a little bit during the break, was that Moisha had a mentor, and I think that mentor um basically helped Moisha like get out of a gang like the one that Z saw this person from their past, um where the the biker patch for now. And so and I would imagine that because of a lot of the violence and probably in bullying and stuff like that, that various things took place that eventually basically like crippled Moisha's wings.
Okay. So I think Alex heard about they didn't know how to separate like between the gangs and who was who, but that there is a gang that's not a gang. And dang it, I'm trying to figure out. I honestly, I'm stuck. I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
You can.
I don't know. Because I right now I don't want to like mess up your story.
Here's a question
that's all
kind
I can
of
think.
tangential. I have a question. Yeah. How common are angels? Do people know they're angels? Do we have to hide our identity?
Oh yeah, we didn't define that.
I mean, it wasn't even. It's not even discussed as far as I can tell in the book. But what do we think in this world? I don't think it was discussed anywhere in the book. So,
I don't know if the book describes it as being like this is a common thing or not. Just that
it doesn't say or not. I think it's up to us.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess because so far all of the people that we've run into, no one's really mentioned anyone having wings.
Well, but that's not, we have seen like a logo with wings on it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this hairbrush with wings on it now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I know like my family where I come from, they don't really like angels. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if it's like depending on the community.
Mm-hmm.
That was sort of my feel too, is that, much like being queer, there are some spaces that are safe and there are some spaces that are very much not to like reveal
and the world parts of yourself. Built seems more like less big picture and more smaller communities kind of across the road.
So like were your wings physically injured by rivals, or was it some spiritual decay that it was unclear from what you talked about?
Yeah, I guess mostly I had imagined it as like various things like some initiation thing, or like within a gang like that, anybody but the leader basically having something like wings would probably not be something that would really be put up with. And so maybe they wouldn't do something specifically, but like in a gang initiation, like you may have to like get jumped or jump someone else and like kick the crap out of somebody. And
but you got your wings clipped as part of a gang activity.
I think that like maybe like the length of them and why they aren't really big might have to do with that. And then them being more beaten up probably has for me a little bit more to do with getting in a lot of scuffles, and
Right.
since they're clipped and I can't really use them to fly,
So then what I'm gathering from
target.
that is that people with wings are not they're known. It's a known quantity in this world. And if you have wings, that's seen as thing, well, you're not the leader, so we have to clip your wings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So angels or people with wings are maybe not plentiful, but they're known.
They're known, and some people accept them, some people see them as a threat.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Man, this is feeling very queer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go figure, huh?
And so yeah, so just like with a pet bird where you might clip their wings so that they can only fly so far.
Mm-hmm.
Was part of that like original gang initiation, but then because of all the scuffles during that period of my life, they didn't really get to grow back and heal, and so
okay.
But I think that was a point where I met my mentor, and so I'm gonna turn to Alex and say, how about a little campfire story?
Yeah. Can you tell me your story?
And I'm gonna pull out some of my handmade jerky and hand it to you. And I'm gonna like give a whistle to catch Wheels's attention and toss a piece of jerky to Wheels.
And Wheels is gonna take the jerky, and I think is going to, I guess this kind of works. Turn up the volume to shut someone down. I'm gonna hop in the truck and turn the volume up so I don't have to hear the story again.
Alex, I think because of how Alex was raised, they've only heard of like biker gangs and people doing mean things to angel wings, and like have no, like doesn't know any specifics or what happened, but they're kind of scared and about what you're gonna say.
So Moisha's gonna take a little piece of the jerky and kind of just chew on it for a minute and say, and kind of get up in front of the fire and have it behind me, and I'm just in like a black tank top and my like raggedy wings, and I'm gonna say, like, once upon a time there was a great angel. Some might say the best angel. And there were lots of other angels, and we were all more than capable and happy with spreading our wings wherever we went. And as he's talking about it, like, you can see him sort of like his wings are kind of like just like stretching and spreading as much as they still can. And it was a great time, and it was filled with a lot of love and joy, and we just were able to soar as high as we wanted and just live our lives the way that we were meant to, with the wind in our face, our feet off the ground, and nothing, nothing but goodness and hope to offer. And then the people who couldn't leave the ground got a little bit jealous, a few of them. And they decided that it wasn't fair who got wings and who didn't. And we tried to reason with them, tried to say, it's not our choice. And, we're not even exactly where we want to be because we've been kind of pushed out of our own little nest. And we're just trying to have our own space and do our own thing. And, but they just weren't able to live and let live. They had to make sure that we knew where we supposedly belonged. And so that's what you see before you today. And Z's gonna let their wings kind of fall back into place, and you see them like just wince a little bit as they fold back up. And then I'm gonna kind of go up to Alex and say, and I know that might be a little terrifying. I know you told me about where you came from, where you've been, but I know, and Lover knows, and even Wheels blasting that music over there knows that someday we're gonna get back to a place where we can soar up in the clouds just like we used to. And there was someone that saved me from when I got my wings clipped. And it seems like they did to them what they did to me. And I need to do the same for them and rescue them the way that they did me.
Oh.
And I'm gonna kind of I was kind of like crouching down and like trying to get like eye height with Alex and just connect on that level. And then I'm gonna kind of sit down next to you and kind of put an arm around your shoulder and squeeze your shoulder and say, I know it might look frightening, but there's some things we got to do, and it's gonna be a pretty fun journey. So don't you worry. And I'll just like give you a squeeze. And I'm kind of curious, is Lover still out and about at the carnival? Does Lover stumble into any of this?
Well, my question is, does Lover make it back without some drama of some sort? Not necessarily related to the biker gang, but just in,
yeah,
or, needing to do what Lover does.
So I'm just gonna check in really quick with Alex and say, if you have any questions, kid, you can always ask.
I have a lot of questions. But it feels like you still have a mission to accomplish here, maybe. Is that true?
We're not quite done yet here, no. But maybe it's worth getting you a little bit better prepared for what we might encounter. And
I realize a good entrance for Lover.
Oh.
Okay.
When you say one day we'll soar amongst the clouds again, you hear a whoosh above the camp. And by the time you finish that last sentence, the whooshes circle back down and Lover kind of lands by the fire from flying.
Mm.
Wings stretched out gloriously. They're not anywhere near beat up as Moisha's. They're actually quite beautiful. A little dirty.
You've been rolling around in the dirt, Lover?
Heaven is a place on earth.
It's always good to have
All
you
right.
back.
So Alex is like very focused on Moisha's story and what's happening. They are trying to process like what's happening with Lover, and this might be the first time they've seen Lover's wings. They're not usually out, are they?
No.
Okay. So that's also something that's going on in their head. But I think they want to take a strong move and confront something scary. And Moisha, they want to help you get to the person you need to get to. Like, let's go find them.
Okay.
We need to do this.
And I wanted to check, like, did my story feel uplifting, or just like it might be embellished a little bit or oversimplified?
That was uplifting.
So, and awesome.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm going to take a token out for, so I've used a bunch of tokens today, which is cool.
That.
So I'm back down to 0. So I got to earn some more tokens, but, so tell an uplifting story is one of my strong moves.
I'm going to make a regular ask. Nina, what does Moy want to hear right now?
Good question.
I think Moy wants to hear that he's not alone in the need to save this past figure.
Mm-hmm.
And that others feel kind of like as strongly about it as Z does. And then as Moisha, I'm just gonna yell out to Wheels, like, you can turn the music down now.
Oh, I was gonna have Wheels get out of the... Once Wheels is like come down from whatever, turns the music down, hops out of the truck, and is kind of like, I know how important they are to you. Let's... I'll help.
Well, you guys are a buzzkill.
I mean, Lover, you know that. Moy's
No,
so serious.
So,
by the way, the music that was playing was like something like Mighty Mighty Boss Tones or something that was very like upbeat and like so Lover's like coming into this like, oh, it's happy, and then Moy's and Alex are so serious.
Ugh, I'll help you even though you left me behind.
Oh, Lover, you're always the wind beneath my wings.
One day.
Stab in the heart.
And so I think with that, I think I'm gonna kind of just like scoop up Lover with your wings still like fully out, and uh just be let's like let's go save an angel. Um and sort of start marching off with you in my arms, kind of feeling a little bit better about things.
Hey, you're carrying me?
Yeah, so you've got your like wings fully out, but I'm like carrying you in my arms. Just because I love how you break the tension.
I bap you in the back of the head of my wing that's behind you.
Oh, don't worry, there's no saving you. And I like give you some eyebrows.
Alex, Wheels, help me.
I feel like there's a lot of like laughter. And just, oh, Lover, you're no in no danger with Moy. You got this.
No, but get your asses over here.
Of course. And Wheels runs to catch up.
And Alex is following.
So basically, so as we get back towards the carnival, I'll put
put me down.
Yeah. all right.
As I close my wings, I whap you in the back of the head again. Oh, sorry.
I'll kind of give you a look and say, if you do it again, I'm gonna have to teach you a lesson later.
Whap. As I tuck my wings into my garments.
And I'm gonna kind of rub the back of my head and just be like, all right, you asked for it.
You only wish you could teach me something.
What?
You only wish you could teach me something. Old man. Old one.
all you'll never listen.
I'm high. Lover's high. Lover's been imbibing while they were away.
So I'm just gonna be like, remember to keep an eye out for our friends from earlier. And basically we'll be like kind of sneaking around or trying to like blend into the crowd.
Wait, you want me to blend in?
Or blend out? I don't like I like I'm kind of curious, like I don't know, you're pretty happy with your wing, so I'm wondering if you want to give us an aerial view and let us know if you see some hunky big galoots.
Well, it is after dark.
Mm-hmm.
So
but like now it's all like lit up with, there's like like all sorts of nighttime lighting with like paper lanterns and like little candles and maybe a rare like electric string of lights.
I'm gonna walk. Making it all about me.
Yeah, I love it. So I'm just gonna sigh and I'm gonna take out another set of brass knuckles just so that I have them. And yeah, I guess you all see anything, you let me know. And we're looking for someone that actually, well, at least they used to look not too different from Alex, but their hair's in like a really long braid
There
that
are
they
thousands
around into the front.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands.
Needle in a haystack, Moy. Needle in a haystack.
Well,
Do you have any idea where they might be? Are they even here? Do we have to go somewhere to like?
while you were partying earlier, lover, did you see any of our old friends out there?
I made new friends.
Oh, I see.
Lover, you make new friends everywhere you go.
It's my job.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
people
I
love
am
you.
the divine love.
you are. You certainly are. And any of these new friends of yours, do you think that are there any friends you'd like to introduce us to? Anyone that seems to know this place?
Am I supposed to remember their names?
No, but you can remember what they look like.
Yeah,
and where
maybe
they
a face.
just lead the way.
Where were you?
You proceed, and we will follow your divine love.
Let's see. Oh, maybe this way.
I was like making many friends all at once. Is that what you were up to, lover?
I was gone for hours.
I know. Okay. I don't know. I'm not judging. You know I don't judge about that.
Lover will lead us to there's a camp with shipping containers up on stilts. And some of the stilts are kind of done up in a Baba Yaga's hut sort of motif.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
they've got some chicken feet, like painted on, or they're adorned in, sculptural elements of chicken feet, and a little bit of thatching painted on the top of the shipping containers. And there's like 4 of them. The comment earlier was, this sounds like Burning Man. So this is kind of like a Burning Man-esque kind of camp where they've got the shipping containers and a great big kitchen set up down underneath them, and lots of lounging spaces of beanbag chairs, and porta potty sort of outdoor shower they've set up. And someone else is going to have to play the people who live there, or whose camp this is, because and Lover will waltz back in. I tried to bring more party to you all, but I don't know how party this crew is going to be.
Lover, you know I know how to party when the time is right.
I'd love to party.
You love to party rocket.
That's party.
And
there's a campfire going, and a whole bunch of people sitting around doing their thing.
And so I'm gonna just are there any like individuals that seem to stand out from the group? Like maybe they're or is like it's just like a kind of random group of people, or
It's an organized camp of people.
mm-hmm.
You know, there's some people doing some cooking. There's a lot of people around the fire. There's what does stand out mean to you in this moment?
It's a good question. Anybody that seems to kind of like know and have command of the situation around them, like basically somebody that looks like they're experienced in the way that they move and act and all that.
Not really grokking you yet.
Okay.
You're looking for someone who's a leader, someone who's streetwise, you know.
So someone who looks like they have experience with like running this like encampment,
So
like people
leader.
who basically like a leader. But I don't know.
There's someone in the kitchen who's like running the kitchen who has authority. What are you gonna say, Lara?
Well, I was saying, yeah, a leader. That's what she's looking for.
So I'm gonna look at Wheels and just say, spread out or stick together.
We're not on a mission. I mean, we are, but we're not.
We're on a mission for information.
We're on the mission for the mission.
Are we at a mission?
No.
Of a certain kind? So I'm just gonna go up to the cook and
it's like the matronly figure who is like the authority here, not necessarily the cook, but you know, they're calling the shots.
Yeah. And I think that like as they turn around, I'm gonna say like, oh dang, T, you're running this fine food operation going on over here?
You recognize the person?
Yeah.
Alex was like, how do you know people here?
Moy knows a lot of people.
Okay, who is this person?
So they're kind of like known for being able to run a kitchen, and they've like traveled with different groups throughout the time that Moisha's been a traveler, and so they've run into each other like at various encampments or during carnivals and stuff like that, and just like, you know, Moisha always loves to share a good story, so they've just gotten to know each other over all the various carnivals. And so they're just a acquaintance that they love to swap stories back and forth since last they saw each other. What's the good grub today?
Got a plate?
And so Moisha's gonna go to check their jacket and realize that their jacket is back at the camp with the truck and everything.
Whaps you with a wooden spoon, grabs a plate. You owe me some cleanup after this.
You know I hold up my end of the bargain. When have I ever let you down?
Let's not go there.
Fair enough. You wanna try some of my latest? And Moshe takes out like because it was in the jacket, but now it's from like the leather pants, like pulls out some more jerky of a different like tone than before.
You added the cocoa powder.
That was a signature tip. I owe you for that one too. And so so T, what's the T? What's the word around camp?
It's Carnival.
Well, yeah.
It's time to gather, have fun, maybe get in a scuffle or two.
You heard of any scuffles lately?
Well, there's all sorts of passions flaring. Looks over towards lover over by the fire.
That's always true.
In Carnival.
That's always true.
I got a feeling you're after something specific. Stop beating around the bush.
You know I love bush.
Kitchen guys, go take a break. She shoos her staff. She shoos the other camp members out of the kitchen area. This one with you, pointing at Alex.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna kind of like I'll have had some, but as I'm kind of getting a little bit more serious, I'm gonna kind of slide that plate over to Alex and
slaps your hand with a spoon and gives Alex her own plate. Wheels, where are you?
I think Wheels went over to a group of people sitting down and just like is listening to them talk.
Okay. Right now they're just shooting the shit around the campfire, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't got to deal with my problems if I'm listening to theirs.
Fair enough.
Alex, the food's really good if you eat it.
Yeah, I definitely eat it. Thank you. Alex is really focused on wanting Moisha to find this person and doesn't know what boundaries Moisha has about telling people who they're looking for.
Well, it's just the three of you in the kitchen area now.
Yeah. So now that it's just the three of us, I'm gonna look at T and say like, hey, you remember Z?
What was go back to Maggie for a second? Were you thinking of an action you were going to take, or are you just sharing your state of mind?
Just sharing my state of mind.
Okay.
At that moment, yeah.
We got 5 minutes. We're gonna try and wrap up in 5 to 10 at most. So yeah. Let's see what we're let's see where we can wrap this thing up for today.
So just asking T if they've seen Z around the carnival. And Z is basically like a code name for the mentor that I'm looking for.
Not confusing at all with your pronouns.
Nope. In fact, may have helped inspire my pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
How much do we think T knows Z? I mean, they're both part of the alphabet. Is that some indicator of relationship, or is that just happened to be what happened?
You can no, it's not. Well, I think like they all like they instead of Moy, Moy might be M, but
so we're playing it up that T is actually part of some smaller network.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of like that.
You and Z, okay, so like it's not just.
It's not 100% random. It's like a very loose network.
Was T part of the gang that's not a gang, or is T just someone that you know?
Yeah, let's have T be part of the gang that's not a gang.
Okay. So Z is also part of that gang that's not a gang.
Yeah.
So, and what was, did Z disappear, or is Z just, you just kind of once in a while find each other kind of thing, the whole group?
I think that, for the most part, we all just go about and do our own thing, but we kind of know that in the gang that's not a gang, we're like safe people because basically we're it's kind of like in Antifa, like we're all basically like the anti-fascists against like the big gangs that are trying to take power and basically be fascists locally, as opposed to fascism in a bigger like governmental sense. Does that make sense?
It's a little more organized than Antifa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
There's no organization, but okay.
Right. Well, like closer to the origination of Antifa, I guess.
Yeah.
When it was actually, just like people trying to rise out against.
So you're a loose network. People know each other.
Mm-hmm.
You try and kind of keep track of each other as best you can. And
help each other out when we can, but not kind of put anyone in such a great debt or make.
Did you think you thought you saw Z earlier?
Yeah. So basically, I saw Z at the outdoor diner place.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she had started to run off, and I went to go follow, and that's when Big Galoot stopped me, and I was basically like arguing with him that he's like, what he was basically like, what interest do I have in Z? And because any of his gang members' business is his business, and I'm like, it's none of your effing business.
Z is in that gang?
So yeah, so the implication is that now Z's in that gang, and I want to figure out how and
what happened.
Why.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
That comes out in the conversation, and you find that T knows where the gang is camping.
Mm-hmm.
And if Z's been brought into that gang, willingly or not, they're probably with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they're camping,
And so, let's say, thanks for the tea, and
real tea.
And I'll kind of like down the last of the food, and because I think we appreciate each other, but we try not to like truly owe each other. So is there anything that T would want now that I can offer?
Just wash your fucking dishes.
All right, so
anything else happening by the campfire?
Yeah. So I'm gonna put an apron on and start washing, and then you guys.
Alex rushes to help because they want to do something.
Basically, you're being asked to wash your own plates, right? So, yeah. Right.
Yeah. So what's going on at the campfire?
In time to wrap up. Any last?
I feel like Wheels is just listening to people shooting the shit and might have heard about a gang camping, so I'm getting the same kind of information. And like, Wheels has pulled out the drumsticks and is like drumming on like all the stuff around them, and like people are watching, and it's kind of cool.
Actually, you start a whole thing.
Yeah, like
people, beating on bowls, and
we got like a drum circle going on.
A spontaneous no drum circle.
Exactly.
Improvised drums.
Yeah. And then Wheels is gonna yell over at I told you I know how to party.
And I'm gonna just be finishing up my dish, and I'm gonna tell Alex, why don't, like, go have some fun, kid. I got this. And I'm gonna kind of take on Alex's dish and basically nudge him to go out to the campfire and at least hang with Wheels.
Dance with Lover.
Yeah, dance with Lover, maybe. Yeah.
Well, there we
Although,
go.
if you agree to that, because remember, you don't really want to get to know me too well.
That's true. It's so Alex awkwardly kind of takes Lover's hand and tries to dance, but also doesn't want to get like too intimate.
But Lover is just dancing for the joy of dancing.
Okay.
Not to
not to be
not to
close.
mac on you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then that's okay. We're just dancing. It's fine.
Yeah. All right.
All
and
right.
scene. And scene. All right. So what we like to do to end is debrief. So we have a couple questions. And I like to always start with this general one. What did you appreciate about your or someone else's play? What was your favorite moment of today's session?
And it's in that same order. So I guess I got to come up with one first. And there's a lot of moments to choose from that were really good. I really appreciated the play between Nina and Mary about with the storytelling at the fire. I thought that was really cool. The story, Nina can tell stories all the time. It's great. And it was great to see the interaction between the two of you. You're up, Nina. We can't hear you.
Oh.
There we go.
What?
There we go.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's so directional that gotta get it exactly right. So I have to say I really appreciated Mary or Maggie's. You laugh every time I do that, so if it makes you smile, I'm gonna keep doing it. So I liked Mary or Maggie's, like, because I very clearly did not describe how to get on a bike
from a moving vehicle.
From a moving vehicle. Just like totally encompassed the, like, I've never done it before, but sure. And then I think that, I was ready for things to go in a very different direction. And I think about, as I've mentioned before, I really enjoy when other players can, sometimes derail me and take it in a different direction and make it unexpected for me, because I'm so good at building up a certain story in my head that I like getting that, spontaneity of interacting with others and kind of sharing that storytelling space. So, yeah, I feel like things would have been really different if we didn't have Mary's influence. That was a great moment.
Oh, thank you. So, my turn. I really appreciate, Nina, you came up with just like these different random ideas, and I thought that was really fun. Like, you just like went with whatever, and you could just take it. And so especially when you had to be creative about how to make things work. So I appreciated that.
Awesome. I have to thank any of the kids I've ever taught storytelling stuff with, because they're so good at making everything just like come out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I don't know, there's something about the like inflatable boat part of the motorcycle that felt a little bit Miyazaki to me for some reason. I don't know why. But it's like, you think this mode of transportation is one thing, but it's another. Menachem.
I like the whole scene at the free store. You know, this the interaction we had at the free store and the playfulness, and then the finding the brush, and all of us kind of going, "Oh, there's something happening there," right? We all kind of keyed into that. So that was fun. And I don't know who those people are yet, if we'll ever see them again. But you know, I just know it was fun.
It was cool. Yeah.
Thank you for setting that up for us.
Yeah, it's one thing that kind of played to find out. I didn't know quite what was going to happen, what I was doing, but hey, I just know I wanted a free store.
Yeah,
you got your free store.
Happen
because we talked about mutual aid as one of our cultural pieces. So
yeah.
So for the second question, which is the last question, the last instructions Erica writes about in this game is keep it hopeful. Erica says, this is a story about hope for the future, about how we can lift each other up. How is this coming through for you in the game? Is this coming through for you in the game? Hope and lifting each other up.
I think it is. I think when Nina was telling the story, there was a good, like it was a serious story, right? About wings getting clipped and wanting to protect someone that Moy cares about, and hope for the future, and hope that we can find a place where we aren't going to have to worry about that. We also sort of had some actual lifting up of people in this session, so yeah, I think it definitely tracks. Nina, you're up.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I definitely, like, I noticed the story was getting kind of like grim, and there were certain parts of like telling that campfire story that were starting to sound a little bit like trite or told over and over again, that, you know, those things are told over and over again because they are true to the human experience over and over again. And yet, you know, I think that, you know, how after all those experiences, you know, how would Moy and others who have been through anything similar, how would they move forward? And you have to kind of justify it one way or the other. Those that like embrace the gang life, you know, or get to avoid that, or hoping that something better is out there. So you kind of need that to keep rolling forward. So I wanted to. I also didn't want to crush poor Alex right off the bat. And our whole like start of this was kind of you know, rescuing Lover and deciding to kind of like head off to that place we kind of all, I think, like that place we'd always talked about, whether it was said or unsaid, is sort of how it felt to me. What about you, Mary or Maggie?
So yeah, I was actually thinking as I'm really trying to like think about what Alex would be like, and trying to get into who they are. And it felt like it was moving towards a hopeful place today, because I set them up as a like kind of an angsty person who's been through a lot and just doesn't know things. Sometimes it feels like they just don't know anything. But they're starting to find pieces. And so it's feeling like as they're going through this journey, they're starting to find little pieces of themselves and of the world, and that those are like hopeful pieces coming through. So for me, it is. And then especially like finding the brush and thinking about where we're going and wanting to help Moisha. It is feeling like it's going to a hopeful place, even though like there's clearly a lot going on in the world. Go.
Really kind of curious about this Alex's story and this kind of development of where this kind of coming of age, sort of coming into self story is going for Alex. And so I see that as hopeful. And I think it's hopeful in a meta way in that I am having fun playing this free, uninhibited lover, and the hope that of connection, the hope of spreading love into the world is a lot of fun, even though there's an underlying sadness to lover who just wants to be loved and appreciated, not just to give other people love. But that's, when you're an angel, that's your job. Where do are you even supposed to care about that stuff? But we're also somehow we're physically on Earth. So I'm really having fun with that character and curious if we'll get to resolve or how that's going to resolve in that way.
Still got some time to figure it out.
So
is it time for our goodbye ritual?
Let's do the names, eh? So say your character name, and we'll say goodbye, and say your player name, and we'll say goodnight.
All right. Well, I've been Wheels today.
Bye, Wheels.
Hey,
Bye,
Wheels.
Wheels.
Good driving.
Thanks. And I'm Lara.
Pleasant dreams, Lara.
Night, Lara.
I have been Moisha.
Hey, Moisha.
Hey,
Bye,
Moisha.
And I am Nina.
Good night, Nina.
Good night,
Good night,
Nina.
Nina.
I have been Alex.
Hey, newbie.
Hey,
Hey, Alex.
Good night, Alex.
And I am Mary or Maggie.
I'm Mary.
Bye,
Pleasant
Maggie.
dreams,
Good
Maggie.
night.
I have been your lover,
Hi, lover.
Hey,
Night,
lover.
lover.
and my name is Menachem.
Good
Night,
night,
Menachem.
Menachem.
Good night, everybody who's watching, whether it's live now or on Memorex
YouTube later.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for tuning
or
in.
YouTube.
Yeah. All right.
See y'all later.
See you, everyone.